This is terrifying, honestly. 627,000, and then my husband has 581,000.
All right, I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. So we're gonna get into a video where a lady is explaining to us how much debt that she has after going to school and living life, and now her and her husband will be going through their debt-free or debt payoff journey. And if you want to follow their journey, go and follow them. Link will also be down below in the description. And if you want to follow my journey, make sure that you like this video, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on this video, as well as subscribe to this channel. And with that, let's get into this video.
Okay, it's time I tell you about my debt. This is terrifying, honestly. I carry a lot of shame with this debt, which I think most people do, especially around school loans, because people have a lot of opinions about that, and I will explain the reasoning or lack thereof around everything that's going on with our debt. But
it all depends on what did you go to school for, and is that career going to be able to help justify that loan? But let's keep rocking.
Drum roll. The big number is $627,528.29.
Is that a mortgage too? What? What do you do, ma'am? What do you do? Let's listen. What does she do?
So the majority of that are school loans.
That's a lot.
My own school loans come to $266,427.79. I went to school for 6.5 years. 2.5 were grad school to get my doctorate in physical therapy. And then my husband has $581,378.69 in school loans.
Doctor?
He did 8 years of school, for undergrad, for graduate, for chiropractic. So all that being said, the huge school loan ones are just so massive that, and they've always been there, that it's just
I will say, if you play your cards right, both of those careers can make you a lot of money. A lot of people look at PT, especially back in the day, you could make a lot of money. Now things are changing with insurances. A PT who watches this video could tell you, but at the same time, if you can play your cards right, you can make a lot of money. Now you're going to have to buckle down a little bit to pay that back. Being a chiropractor, you can make a lot of money that way. Medical field degrees tend to make a good amount of money if you play your cards right and you don't live above your means. So let's keep going.
It's a huge burden, but it's also like we can't even include that in our debt payoff at this time, eventually. So if I deduct the massive government school loans and I keep just my small private one, by small private loan, it's $44,000, $189.42. So small compared to, massive. So if we total my private loan, my car payment, credit cards, braces, medical debt, the total for that, which is the ultimate goal to really start paying down now, is $91,681.89.
Credit card. It sounds like it's one of those situations where she had that medical debt maybe, and then had no money, and then had to get the debt. It's not good either way, but at least in my mind justifies why it happened. It's not like she was spending her money on buying some purses or some going on trips or something crazy like that, right? And so when you look at a situation like this, sometimes shit happens, okay? Sometimes shit happens, but sometimes you just buy dumb things. But I don't know. Let's see.
The stress that we live under is just a daily stress. Honestly, I don't even know how to explain how it happened. We lived out of our means. We were starting off in debt. I chose private school. My husband chose private college. I was 18. I thought it was a great idea. Looking back, I'm 37. It wasn't a good idea. No. I can't change that. I will be paying them off. But the rest of my debt was our decision, and it was not a good decision. Living out of your means, taking on things that you can't take on, but other things are just, they come up, summer camp and childcare and unexpected house things and yada yada yada. We didn't include our mortgage in this either. That doesn't count. So
it doesn't, but potentially the average cost of a mortgage right now is almost around $400. The average cost of a home, I say mortgage. The average cost of a home right now is around $400,000. So potentially they're in $1 million worth of debt. Now, you can have the good debt argument, the bad debt argument, you know, you do you. But at the end of the day, they probably around $1 million in the hole that they owe. Okay? Take the debt word out. Just say they owe somebody and some people, some organizations around $1 million potentially, depending on what kind of house they own. And since they've been living above their means this long, I just can assume that the house that they got it's probably not a bad home. You know what I'm saying? Could you overpay for, and get a bad house that costs you around $400,000? Yes, you can. But I'm gonna just assume they have that. The student loans, they can go on and have great careers. It is what it is. You had to do what you had to do. Didn't know you went to private school, unless that's the only place in your state. I've seen certain situations like in Mississippi. There's only a couple of schools you can go for PT to be a chiropractor. There's certain things that will mess you up depending on where you stay. And then you had to pay out-of-state tuition. And then it ends up almost making sense. You had to kind of get in where you fit in order to become what you want to become. So that's also a thing. There are certain things that happen, okay? But it sounds like they're in a situation where they just chose to go to that school, where they could have went to another school for cheap. And not say cheap, to make it cheaper. The thing about it is, when you go apply for a job, they really are not going to care in her field in particular whether you went to that school or this school. The only thing, and this is not even a thing like it used to be back in the day, the only thing that kind of made it better to go to certain schools were to develop relationships in certain areas. But now, sometimes these employers just need bodies. They need somebody who is willing to work. Don't care about no relationships now. Relationships are very important. I'm not saying they're not, but what I'm saying is when it comes to getting in to start working, that initial relationship is not going to be as important depending on what field you're in. For her case, it's not going to be that important. People are looking for PTs everywhere. They looking for PTs. And you gotta go get a job. And so certain things she may not have known, like she said when starting out, she went to that school, whatever it is, just probably based off the name. And nowadays, just going to school don't even like necessarily mean you're gonna get the relationship that you need to make in order to make that decision even worth it. And so, it's not the same. It's not the same. But let's continue listening.
The $91,681.89 is the total that I'm running off of for my purpose here on TikTok to try to make money and pay it down, starting with the credit cards, because that is not
That's
good
the
debt.
worst one.
And I really, 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 really hope to cut a huge chunk of that down. Please support me.
Shout out to her though. I'm gonna tell you like this though. I love to see people deciding to, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, it don't matter. Wherever you can get in and try to make a couple of extra dollars, I'm all for it. The more, the merrier. Now, like I said, she made a mistake going to that private school. Could have saved a lot of money off the top. Could have saved a lot of money. But she did it. It is what it is now. That's the first mistake. The second mistake, the credit cards. I don't know, like I said, if it was because she ran into that medical issue. She said that they also had some issues with the home. And so did you make cosmetic changes and you just, was that the issue with the home? Or let's say the pipes burst and you had to get that fixed. Or like maybe you bought a house with some bad wiring or something. And, certain things that you didn't do in order to make sure that home was up to code, and you end up sending your foot inside of a money pit or something. Certain things could have been avoided, but certain things just pop up out of the blue, and they weren't an issue when you inspected the house, and then they became an issue after you put your foot in the house. So some of those details are left out. She was not able to give us all the details up front. It's fine. It's cool. We're just assuming here for the purposes of this discussion. But at the end of the day, that's a lot. There's a lot of money that she owes. And all I can do is wish her the best of luck, because we all find ourselves in situations right now. Me and my wife are currently not in that much, not even close. But she's graduating occupational therapy school, and that's the reason I know about, depending on what school you can get into. Couldn't get into school in state, had to go out of state now. Oh, y'all know about that out of state tuition? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just about the same as if you were just to go to a private school. You know what I'm saying? So different things pop up. It is what it is. But all we can do right now, find a way to make more money, as you know, not as easy as that sounds, but find a way to make more money, get to the bag, and just keep rocking it out. You know what I'm saying? I wish her the best of luck. And if you want to support her, link will be down in the description below. But until next time, guys, make sure that you like this video, comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.